welcome back to Real Life English. My name is Tanita and it's wonderful to have you back. Today we're going to do a bit of an interesting video. I wanted to look at sort of the common or really interesting, strange, weird, wonderful trends that we can find on YouTube. Now I must say, when I say weird or strange, I don't mean that these things are wrong or anything like that, please. Disclaimer alert. I just find them really fascinating to have a look at these different trends, so I thought that we could cover them today and learn a little bit of English along the way. There are 5 sort of trends that I'd like to look at today. They are ASMR, pimple popping, alright, cottagecore, MUKBANG, I'm probably not saying that right, and GONGBANG, which are both Korean, so I'm probably not getting the pronunciation right there, but in English we would say MUKBANG and GONGBANG. The one that seems to be the most popular at the moment on YouTube, and maybe you have heard of it before, is ASMR. Okay, it's quite a mouthful when we look at what that actually means, and it means autonomous sensory meridian response. Whew, okay, I had to practice that because it is quite a lot to remember, and it's also quite scientific in nature. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Okay, another little tongue twister for us today. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Autonomous sensory meridian response is really just sort of that little tingly feeling that you get sort of from your head and back on your neck, especially when you hear a certain sound, right? We get maybe this little tingly feeling in our bodies, and that is what ASMR is. This is also known as a pleasant form of paresthesisia. Okay, there are different ways to pronounce that. Some people would say paresthesia, paresthesia. There are some different ways to pronounce that word, and that is just sort of the technical term that we use for this tingly sensation that we get when we hear a specific noise or sound. So these videos on YouTube, do yourself a favor and please do a search, just search ASMR on YouTube, and that will give you an idea of what these videos are all about. But what people are doing is they are recording specific sounds with very good microphones. And the whole point of the video is for you to sort of listen to these noises and maybe, hopefully, produce that sort of tingly sensation. You're probably wondering, why would somebody want to watch or listen to random noises and sounds? And there does seem to be some studies on this sort of sensation, and it has been said, or a lot of people say, that it can really help with sleep or even anxiety. It can help reduce stress levels, or if you're feeling very anxious, the sort of the sounds and that sensation that we get, the ASMR sensation, can actually help with anxiety. So maybe the next time you're feeling a little stressed, you can't sleep, or maybe you're just a bit anxious about something, try one of these videos and see if it's something that works for you. I personally have tried to watch some of these videos, and to be perfectly honest, it does nothing for me. I feel that just nothing. Okay, but I can recall a specific sound that would make me feel this way. You know, when sometimes in the movies, or when there's like a bad evil teacher and she takes her long nails and she on the blackboard, that sound definitely sort of creates that tingling sensation for me, because I actually don't like it. But that's just an example. Maybe you can imagine that sound and you're just, it gives you that feeling. In my country, we actually have a specific word for that. It's an Afrikaans word, and we say gil. So we say like, oh, it gives me the gills. And that's what we mean by that sort of sensation. It makes you feel a little, yeah, I'm sure, hopefully, you know what I'm talking about. The next one is also a little bit strange. I don't see the appeal in it, but there are a lot of people watching this kind of thing, and that is pimple popping. Let's quickly take a look at what a pimple is. What a pimple is ultimately the dead skin and oils from your skin or your face. I mean, pimples could show up anywhere on your body, but they normally are in the face region, or for a lot of people, they sometimes struggle with acne as sort of another word for pimples or a pimple problem. Can happen on the back. And what it really is the dead skin cells and the oils kind of get stuck in the pores. So the pores are the tiny little holes that if you look really closely in the mirror, like even on your hand, anywhere on your body, you'll see like the tiny little holes. We call those pores. Now the skin, the dead skin and the oil get stuck in these, and then that is sort of what develops into what we know as a pimple. Now these videos are all about exactly what the trend is called, pimple popping. So it's all about removing the pimples, or ultimately popping the pimples. And the videos really show these professionals in the beauty industry who often will help people who have maybe acne problems. But these professionals get rid of all these pimples, and the videos are really about watching this process. And for some people, it seems to be really satisfying. I think for other people, they just like to watch it because it's so strange. That is another big trend on YouTube, pimple popping. Check it out if you can handle it. It's not for everyone. Good luck. To take a little break, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. There should be a button over here if you would like to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and that just lets me know, or lets you know, that I've released a new video. The next one is what we call, or what is called, cottagecore. Now this is a aesthetic, all right? So an aesthetic is like a style or a look or a particular kind of feeling in terms of fashion or decor, interior design. Aesthetic is sort of what we call this style or look. So maybe more common aesthetics that you know about today could be ones like modern, contemporary. Yeah, there's sort of quite a few. Country is another type of aesthetic. So the cottagecore trend is all about the cottage or rural lifestyle and fashion style and the way of decorating your home or participating in cottage-like activities. So that would be things that you would imagine somebody who's living in a cottage in the countryside would be doing. Things like pottery or foraging. All right, so foraging is where people go out and sort of pick or source food. All right, we call that foraging. And cottagecore is this trend covering this style. So you will see people showing you how to style your home or clothes that we might associate with a cottage kind of style. And yeah, doing sort of hobbies or activities that you might find someone who lives in the countryside maybe a little bit in the past. It's all about bringing those sort of characteristics into your home, no matter where you live. So even if you're living in the city, maybe you want your apartment to look a little more country, cottage-like. And that is sort of what cottagecore is all about. I personally do like some of the style. I don't like it in terms of furniture and decor, but I do like the sort of dress and the clothing that comes with the sort of cottagecore style. Simply because the types of materials are a little bit more eco-friendly. So I really like cotton and linen, and a lot of cottage clothing is made out of these kinds of materials. So if you're a cottage style fan deep down inside, put cottagecore in the search bar and eat your heart out. Enjoy it. I definitely think it's going to become more popular. I could be wrong. I am not a fortune teller. but I do think it is going to become a little more popular in the future. Okay, looking at the next one, this one is called mukbang. What it is watching people eat large amounts of food. Now, the type of food depends on the content creator or the person who is making the video, and normally they tend to group the food according to a specific category. So it could be something like fried foods or fast food, or it's generally not healthy food, but I'm sure you could find some that is like fruits or vegetables or something like that if you are more interested in that. And this trend is often paired or also labeled as ASMR, because it's not just about watching people eat these large amounts of food, it's also about hearing the process of eating and the sounds that come with that. So it's a lot of sounds like slurping, right? When maybe you're eating noodles. These videos are all about watching that process and listening, and depending on the creator, they might also talk to you, answer comments if they're doing it live. It really just depends on the YouTuber. The last trend falls within the with me trend. So these are things where people invite you to do things with them. So it could be things like get ready with me, maybe eat with me, which would be similar to mukbang in a way. The specific trend that I want to look at here is gongbang, and it really means to study with me. These videos are all about somebody studying, all right, and normally they are live videos, and what they will do is they will schedule a study session and they invite you to watch the video and study with them at the same time. Now, often these are long videos, 10 hours, 8 hours. I don't know how anyone studies for that amount of time. There are often breaks in between, but the idea is that if you are also a student and you want to feel like you are sort of required to study, like if you don't trust yourself to study, this could be a really good way to have somebody hold you accountable. So if you know you need to study for a test or exam, you could tune into a gongbang video or a study with me video, and that would sort of hold you accountable. For the time that the video is running, you will also study yourself. So I can definitely understand the interest in these types of videos. I think for a lot of people, it might not make sense, but if you're somebody who struggles with committing to something, or maybe you're a procrastinator, which means you leave everything to the last minute and then everything is just this rush of chaos, which sometimes I do, unfortunately. But if you want something to hold you accountable so that you actually study or get work done, these videos can be really appealing or helpful to those kinds of people. So if you know yourself really well, give this a try and use that time or that person's video to sort of force you in a way to get stuff done, right? That's really what it's about. Let's recap on the trends that we had a look at today. We took a look at ASMR, which remember means autonomous sensory meridian response. I almost forgot what it stood for, but that's what it is. We also took a look at pimple popping, cottagecore, all right. We looked at mukbang and gongbang, all right, which is the study with me sort of type of video. I hope that you enjoyed learning about these styles, and I hope that you enjoyed some of the vocabulary that we looked at today. Please remember to download the worksheet. This will really help you sort of practice and remember some of the things that we covered today. And yeah, let me know what you think about some of these trends in the comments. Let me know if you know of any other trends on the internet at the moment that you find really interesting and you'd like to share it with me.
Autonomous sensory meridian response. Autonomous sensory meridian response. Whew, it's a mouthful. Okay. I cannot remember where it was. So let's go from the beginning. Let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, I knocked my desk. Oh. let's try that again. Let's okay, not re-crap. Let's try that again. Recap. Okay. Let's recap